The story begins with a boy named Rentaro confessing to his crush. The girl says that she likes him, but she gets sick at the thought of dating him. Rentaro is crushed by the rejection. His friend walks him home, and we learn this is Rentaro's 100th rejection, and his friend makes fun of him for this. His friend wonders how he has asked out 100 girls since they have only just graduated from middle school. Rentaro remembers his first confession when he was just 8 months old. Rentaro really wants to experience what it's like to have a girlfriend. Though he has good looks and grades, he's frustrated that he keeps getting turned down. His friend wishes him luck for high school as they part ways. Rentaro visits a shrine and prays to the god of love, hoping to finally get a girlfriend in high school. Suddenly, he hears a voice, and a face pops out of the donation box. The man reveals that he's the shrine's god. As he emerges, we see he has wings, and he tells Rentaro that he is destined to meet his soulmate in high school. In fact, he's actually going to have 100 soulmates, so he'll have plenty to choose from. Rentaro is happy about this, but he swears to destroy the shrine if it turns out to be a lie. 1 month later, it's the first day of high school. On his way to class, Rentaro accidentally bumps into 2 girls, Inda and Hakari. The moment their eyes meet, there's a shocking feeling between them, and Rentaro wonders if these could be the soulmates the god told him about. As he helps them up, Hakari suddenly pretends to have twisted her ankle and asks him to escort her to the nurse's office. Rentaro cries over hurting his soulmate, which makes Hakari like him even more, seeing his kindness. As he helps her up, Inda gets jealous and she pretends that she's twisted her ankle as well. Rentaro starts hitting himself for hurting the 2 girls, which makes them worry for him, and they stand up to stop him. Noticing this, Rentaro is surprised to see they can actually stand, but the girls quickly go back to pretending. Rentaro takes them to the nurse's office, but he feels like they're carrying him instead. The girls pretend to lose their balance and start fighting over him, but they end up both clinging on to him. While heading to the nurse's office, Rentaro introduces himself, and they realize they're all in the same class. Just then, 2 other girls walk by, talking about a field of pink clovers in the courtyard. They mention that if you ask someone out with a pink 4-leaf clover, they're guaranteed to say yes. Hearing this, Inda and Hakari suddenly run off, and Rentaro is surprised to see their legs are perfectly fine. 3 hours after school ends, Rentaro stays behind to help a teacher look for his lost contact lens. As he's about to head home, he wonders if he'll see the girls again, and he suddenly sees them in the courtyard. We see Inda searching for the 4-leaf clover, and Rentaro goes over to check how it's going. Shocked to see him, Inda tries to act like she wasn't looking for the clover. Noticing Hakari isn't around, Rentaro offers Inda a drink. She is too shy to accept it, so Rentaro thinks she must find him weird since they only just met, but Inda quickly snatches it, saying she'll drink it all so it doesn't go to waste. He suggests Inda should head home since it's getting late. She tells him not to tell her what to do, but thanks him for the drink, and Rentaro realizes she's at tsundere. Inda then runs off, and Hakari shows up. Rentaro offers Hakari a drink as well, but she intends to have an indirect kiss with him, so she asks to share half with him, saying she can't finish it by herself. Anticipating this, Rentaro had already brought a smaller drink for her, but Hakari insists she still can't finish it. He agrees, and takes a sip, and gives it to her, but Hakari gets flustered, causing the drink to spill on the ground. Rentaro assumes Hakari is upset because she must really like the drink. He offers her his handkerchief to clean up, but instead, Hakari holds his hand and suddenly confesses her love, saying she had to tell him quickly because there's someone else who likes him. Rentaro is delighted to receive his first ever confession, but before he can respond, Inda suddenly returns. She had bought a bunch of drinks to repay Rentaro, but she gets mad at Hakari for confessing first. Rentaro is surprised to realize Inda also likes him. She tries to deny it at first, but ends up confessing as well. The girls then ask him who he's going to choose, but he tells them to wait till the next day for his answer. At home, Rentaro thinks about both girls but finds himself unable to choose. He returns to the shrine, where the god explains that both of them are his soulmates, so it's impossible for him to pick just one. The god then reveals that he made a mistake at Rentaro's birth. He was distracted watching TV and accidentally assigned Rentaro 100 soulmates instead of just one. Rentaro feels doomed, but the god warns him it's even worse, because if a person can't be with their soulmate, they'll die because they can't have the one they love. Rentaro worries about one of the girls dying, which makes his decision even harder. But then he gets an idea. The next morning, when the girls meet him, they're surprised to see him looking worn out. He finally tells them he wants to date both of them. Inda is shocked, and Rentaro explains that he truly loves them both and will do everything to make them happy. The girls are about to reject him, but he presents each of them with a pink 4-leaf clover, which he spent all night searching for. Inda mocks Rentaro for believing in the superstition, but Hakari reminds her that they both believed in it too. Inda refuses to accept two timing with him, but Rentaro explains that he got the flowers because he saw how hard they were searching for them and just wanted to make them happy. Touched by his gesture, Hakari agrees to be with him, thinking two timing is better than getting rejected. Inda refuses to let Hakari have him to herself, so she also agrees to be with him. Hakari teases Inda for changing her mind, while Rentaro promises to cherish them both. However, he can't help but wonder about his other 98 soulmates. The next day, Rentaro happily talks about finally having a girlfriend, except he's actually talking to a pole. When the two girls arrive, Inda is creeped out and asks why he was talking to a pole. Rentaro says he was just so happy that he couldn't hold it in. Inda tells him he can talk to her instead, but she quickly becomes too embarrassed. Hakari seizes the chance and holds Rentaro's hand. He is overwhelmed by the sensation, and Inda starts to get jealous, but he grabs her hand as well. She pretends not to enjoy it, but the three of them walk together happily. When they arrive at school, they see a boy being chased by the vice principal. Hakari explains that the vice principal is known for being strict and will chase down anyone caught running in school. If she catches them, she even gives them a kiss, which Rentaro thinks would be traumatic. Hakari adds that the vice principal used to be a star sprinter, so escaping her is nearly impossible. She then asks Rentaro if he's ever kissed anyone, and he admits he hasn't, since they're his first ever girlfriends. Hearing that, Hakari and Inda realize whoever acts first could have his first kiss. During lunch, while Inda is distracted by a cat, Hakari feeds Rentaro an egg roll. He loves it so much that he starts crying, and Inda gets jealous. She reveals she made cookies for him, but when she tries to feed him, she gets embarrassed and accidentally pokes him in the eye. He eats her cookie and tells her it's delicious, but then Hakari takes out a snack and tries to feed him mouth to mouth. Rentaro thinks she is too cute. Hakari starts biting the snack to get closer to him. Inda tries to join in, but ends up poking his other eye. As Inda's hair gets in the way, Rentaro sneezes, accidentally breaking his snack with Hakari. Noticing his red eyes, Inda worries he might have a cold and grabs onto him, saying he can feel better by passing it on, and she tries to kiss him, but Hakari steps in, saying they aren't sure if he's sick, and tries to check his temperatures through lip contact, saying it's her family's tradition. Inda interrupts, planning to make Rentaro pass out so she can give him mouth to mouth. Hakari pushes her away, and they both end up angry at each other. Rentaro finally realizes they were both trying to kiss him. Inda denies it, but her expression makes their motives obvious. Surprised, Rentaro offers to kiss them, admitting he's been wanting to as well. But Hakari points out he has to choose who to kiss first, and it starts another argument. Rentaro stops them, saying he already planned a solution because he was so excited. To make them both happy, he suggests they keep the order of their first kiss a mystery. So each kiss will feel like his first, and they'll both have an equal chance of being his first kiss. The girls are not sure how they'll keep it a mystery, so Rentaro explains his plan. They'll wear a mask, cover their ears, and randomly determine their positions, so he won't know who he kisses first. Hakari loves the idea, but Inda worries he might cheat. To reassure her, Rentaro suggests a pinky promise, vowing to stick a needle in his eye if he breaks it. Inda thinks it's silly, but they agree. As they start the plan, a gust of wind lifts Inda's skirt, and a nearby cat suddenly begins clawing at it. Inda thinks Rentaro is touching her, so she kicks him away and starts hitting him, but then her headphones fall out, and she realizes it was actually the cat. They try the plan again, but something goes wrong each time, stopping them from kissing. Frustrated, Inda complains that the plan was faulty, which angers Hakari, and they start arguing over who Rentaro belongs to. Rentaro stops them, taking all the blame for being inexperienced, and then runs off. He calls for the vice principal, who quickly shows up to punish him for running. She gets on top of him, and he's scared to death, but Inda stops her. And Hakari then pretends to see a school inspector, causing the vice principal to worry, and she quickly crawls away. The girls ask why Rentaro acted so recklessly, and he explains it's because he loves them both and wants them to get along. He'd rather ruin his first kiss than see them fight. Touched by his words, both girls tell him he can kiss the other, not wanting him to waste his first kiss. Rentaro is surprised, realizing how deeply they care for him. Rentaro hugs them both and suggests a new idea, a three-way kiss. He thought they wouldn't go for this at the start, but now that they're getting along, he thinks it might work. The girls blush at the thought of kissing each other, but they eventually agree, and the three share their first kiss together. The next day, Rentaro and the girls are at the library. Hakari searches for a cookbook to make him more food, but Inda argues with her over a book. Rentaro tells them to get along, reminding them they shared a kiss, which makes them both blush. As he searches for a different book, he meets another girl who gives him that shocking sensation, and he wonders if she might be another one of his soulmates. And the video ends here. If you want to see the next part, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.